Okay. Hello, everybody. Ooh, fun angles for me. I wanted to do this as a Zoom, uh, just in case anybody happened to be available and wanted to join and hear this in real time. That way, if they had any questions, I could include them in the recording and everybody else could hear the answers. Um, excuse me, but I just wanted to hop on here and very quickly explain wings. If you are a winged character, this affects you. If you're not a winged character, you don't have to watch, but you're certainly welcome to know what's happening. Um, so what's happening with wings are we decided to take a step back from them having fantasy film. Fantasy film is incredibly expensive and we are having really bad luck with it. When we changed to a different color, because the color we previously used was no longer available, the new color is pretty, but it's very brittle. And the company's telling us it's just the way it is now. So we've been experiencing a lot of people ripping them, poking holes in them. And every time that happens, we have to completely rip their wings apart and start over. And it's very expensive. It ends up costing us about $15 per set of wings every single time. And then if you break your lights, that's another $10. Heaven forbid you're a Pixie and you break them, because that's $20 because they roll with two pairs of lights. So we're taking a step back and taking off the fantasy film. So what we're doing, this is just an example. These are my tester pair that I did. But as you can see, all of the veins in the wings now are filled. This is a UV resin. It's being cured with a UV light, like you use for gel nails. It's pretty user friendly. There is a learning curve to it. So we are going to have some get-togethers if you so desire, so we can help you understand how to use it. Kelly Wood and I have been working on this for quite some time, a few months now, trying to figure out this process and make it streamlined for everybody. What's going to need to happen is, if you are a winged character, you need to go on Amazon. I'm going to link it, and purchase the resin kit. It comes with 3 bottles of resin. The Sprite wings, the smaller wings, are taking 2 bottles, and the Pixie wings are taking all 3. They are, I think, $12 for the 3-pack. You are more than welcome if a couple people want to get together, like if 3 people all chipped in on 2 sets, that would obviously be enough resin for 3 Sprite wings, 2 bottles each. You know, you guys want to do something like that, more power to you. But each pair of wings will require some resin. The colors are an alcohol ink. We tried several different types of ink, and we tried, using gel nail polish. We tried using acrylic paints. We tried using, I don't even remember what else. We tried many different types of paint. The only thing that cures in the UV light is alcohol ink. Alcohol ink is readily available on Amazon. It's also readily available in store I bought mine at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure Michael's has it as well. I got a metallic ink, which was, I think, $5 for the container. I was very heavy-handed with mine. As you can see, like, there's no light that comes through mine. This is very opaque, which I think I want to go back and maybe change, because I like the look of the stained glass. But even this being this heavy-handed and opaque, I used like maybe a quarter of my bottle, if even. So again, getting together with people that are the same character as you, that have the same color palettes as you, and deciding if you guys want to split the cost of colors, totally up to you. There are tons of options. So what we sat back and figured out, we were trying to figure out with the board, like, how do we regulate the colors? Like, how do we make sure everybody is kind of cohesive and within their character? What we've come up with is using the wig palettes. So for your wigs, we have, the main colors that you can use as like your full colored wig. And then we have the accent colors for your clip-ins, your wefts, that kind of thing. It's going to be similar for wings. So any of your colors that can be your main wig color could be completely filled in your wing. Like for instance, this is obviously all silver, which is an air color. The airs in clip-ins and wefts, we also have a very light blue, we have a light purple. So you could put little tiny accents of those colors in your wing. But as an air, you couldn't do an all purple wing or an all blue wing. Those would be an accent color, much like the wigs. I hope that makes sense. Like you can do a clip-in or a weft. It can be an accent color in your wing, but not the full color. Faye and I had a very long meeting about this. She's fully on board as the costume chair, and I believe fully understands that concept. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to Thayer as well, or myself if needed. It's a bit of a learning curve when you're doing it. There's a lot of room for creativity and interpretation. There's a ton of different kinds of inks. Mine, like I said, is a metallic ink. There's inks that are just like more of a jewel tone. There's what's called a sinking ink, which kind of looks like an oil spill when you put it in. Like I said, they cure with a UV light. Mine, per area that the light could touch, took about 2 60-second hits on the light. So 2 minutes and it sets. What we're doing is you put painter's tape on one side of your wing. So like tape it off so that the resin doesn't come through, right? And do your area, hit it with your UV until it's hard. And then you're going to want to flip your wing over, peel the painter's tape off. But here's the thing, painter's tape doesn't allow UV light to set on it. So when you pull that tape off, it will be wet on the other side. So then you're going to have to hit it with the light again. And this is where there was a lot of trial and error. For me, I found that when I pulled the tape off, I wanted to make that side look smoother. So I added some resin on that side and then hit it with the light again. So without going into like a ton of detail on all of those things, I wanted to give you like a little taste of how much learning curve, room for interpretation there is on these things. So that being said, we want to have a couple get-togethers with as many people as possible that can come, bring their wings, bring their resin, and myself and Kelly will help teach everybody how to do these. My pair by myself without a party atmosphere with my friends took me about an hour to fully fill in and set. So it takes some time, not a ton, but I will say in a group setting, it's going to take you longer. Also, hi, Salem. Also, with not everybody having the light. I have 2 of the lights. I know a couple other members have some of these lights. If you want to buy a light, they are available on Amazon. More power to you. If you don't, come to one of the parties and we can share our lights because they don't take very long. Hold on a second, baby, please. So I'm going to post, like I said, a ton more information about this, some available dates, the link for the resin, but I thought maybe just talking would be a much faster way to explain this. There's something else that's kind of cool that we talked about, that we had some inquiries about when we started talking about doing the resin in these wings, is people were asking about putting like trinkets inside them. And that's been approved. What it's going to mean is inside one of these sections, you could have like a charm or ribbon or whatever have you. But the ribbon, the charm, whatever it is, has to be fully encased in your resin. It can't be sticking out. If you did this, you shouldn't be able to feel it. It can't hang down, like ribbons can't hang down. It has to be fully encased in a square or a section and covered with resin. So people were talking about like a charm bracelet charm that's flat that you could like put a little resin, cure, put your charm in, and then place resin on top of it. Other people were inquiring about putting their symbols back in. For anybody who doesn't know, we used to have the elemental symbols in our wings. With the fantasy film, it was very difficult because they didn't stick very well. But you could do that if you wanted to put your elemental symbol, your character symbol back in. You would be more than welcome to do that as long as it is fully in the resin and cured, doesn't stick out, no sharp edges. So, there you go. If you are a character that does not have wings, but you are considering like sometimes switching to a character that has wings, that's awesome. We love that. And it's totally allowed this year. But what's going to happen is you are going to need to buy some wings. So the wings are going to sell for $40. And what you get for 40 is the aluminum wing, the first spraying of your matte black, because this needs to be black, and your lights. So all of that is what you get for the $40. Then you'd have to buy your resin and your colors. Again, like I said, the colors, you're not going to use all of them. So feel free, like get with people that are the same character as you and talk about what colors they already have or what they're getting. Could you borrow some, whatever have you, and split costs and whatever you guys want to do to be cost effective on that. You are more than welcome to have more than one color. As I did in these, I did all the one same color. But that doesn't have to be the case. Like you can do as many colors as you want, but you're going to have to, you know, figure out how to incorporate it into your resin. We tried a couple of different techniques with that. With this, I poured the ink directly into my resin bottle, shook it up lightly. It will cause bubbles. So I did use a creme brulee torch to get some of my bubbles out. And then I applied it with the color already in. We've also tried it where you put the clear resin in and then drop some colors and use like a toothpick to mix it and put the colors on. That totally works, and it gives you a lot more ability to see exactly what color the things are that you're putting in. But we did find that depending on how much ink you're adding, it can take a little bit longer to cure. But it will cure. It just takes a little longer. So again, I know this is a lot of info, but I wanted to just word vomit at everybody a little bit so you can pause this, rewatch it, kind of let it sink in, and ask any questions you might have about this process. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you are a winged character and you are listening to all of this and going, I have zero interest in doing this, it sounds like a lot of work, I'm terrified, I'm not good at it, I don't want to do it, that's totally fine. This is going to be a costume requirement that your wings have something in them, at least some of them. You could leave a few open if you wanted, but you can't just roll with like a black set of wings with nothing. So what will happen is you'll still buy your resin kit or talk to somebody if they have extra resin, whatever have you, I don't care. And message the group and say, hey, I really don't want to do my wings. Does somebody else want to do them? That's totally fine. I'm super good with that. I actually found this very therapeutic and relaxing and enjoyable. So I would be more than happy to do someone else's wings. I know a few other people have already said that they would enjoy that. If you are a non-winged character and you're like, I'll make someone's wings, let people know. That's totally fine, but we just need to be very clear that while of course you could have some input like, hey, as a fire sprite, I don't want a ton of orange, like more red for me, please. Just keep in mind, if someone else is doing your wings, someone else is doing your wings. So you have to give them a little bit of, trust and artistic freedom to do what they're going to do. So I see that I've got a couple people here. That was about all I was going to say in this video before I link everything and post this on YouTube. But Alex, Julia, since you're here, do either of you have any questions I can answer and include in this recording for anybody else who might have the same questions?
Can we get an extra set of wings if we purchase them?
Absolutely. Yes.
If we, just in case we F it up?
Or
don't like it, or have two different sets or whatever.
Yes. Excellent question. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to mention. Yes. So if you wanted to be like for me, for instance, like I'm considering doing like a dark seaweed court kind of feel, like use like more blacks and like the darker silvers, but then maybe also having another pair that has like the more ethereal touches of those light blues and purples, like I can do for my wig, so that I can play back and forth. Totally. We just have to buy the extra set. Again, that $40 with the lights, with the frame, all of that good stuff. So yes, you can totally do that. Something else that we were talking about was trying to figure out a way to make like little scrap pieces of the metal so that you could play a little with your resin to kind of learn how it works before committing on your wings. We're still working on trying to do that cost-effective way with the metal and everything. But Kelly Wood has figured out how to chisel out sections. So if push came to shove and you did some and you're like, oh, I really don't like a couple of the things I did, she's going to be able to show you how to get it out and refill it. But we're hoping to maybe find a way to have like small pieces of metal with a few little areas that you could practice on before committing to your wings.
And do we just send it to the Fae Venmo?
Yes, so
Money. Sorry.
yeah, no worries. The merch on our website is still down. I'm working on it. It's been a process, but eventually, yes, it'll also be on there. Like you can go onto our website, go to the merch area, and we'll have the wings listed up there for purchase as well. But yes, in the meantime, you are more than welcome to send it to the Fae Venmo, the Fae PayPal, no problem whatsoever, and I can post those again as well. Yeah, so that'll be that. And you can have as many pairs as you want, as long as you want to. You could have 10 pairs if you want to buy them, and have all sorts of different options. Yeah, totally.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I love it. Any other questions?
No, she asked the things that I was wondering. So
Perfect. Okay. Well, tons more information as we start going through this. Here's something. So obviously it's the 3rd, it's Wednesday. We're coming up on some parades this weekend. This is obviously not something that needs to be done before Crumpus or St. Francisville. That would be crazy. So basically what we're going with is a by Mardi Gras feel. As soon as we can get wings going is awesome, but we're giving everybody until Mardi Gras to have this done fully, because we're still working on the logistics for our lights as well. So take a little bit of the pressure off yourselves. No worries about the parades this weekend, obviously. And then that gives us time to have a few more get-togethers, tutorials to figure out how this is all working. Sorry about my screaming child. Anything else? Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Glad that we got some questions in. That was perfect, because there was a few things I forgot and other included. So thank you very much for your time. I'm going to post this to YouTube, and I will put the link to the resin in the main chat so people can start getting their stuff. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks so much.
thank you.
Bye.